Hi guys, 18Dap here and welcome to this match preview for this League 2 midweek fixture. It's Doncaster Rovers versus Barrow at the Eco Power Stadium. Let's get the video started. So guys, welcome to this match preview, midweek fixture, Doncaster versus Barrow at the Eco Power Stadium. If you're an existing subscriber, thank you so much for supporting the channel. We're well on the way to 3,000 subscribers, which is absolutely mental. If this video has brought you to the channel, please consider clicking subscribe so you don't miss any future content. The matchday vlog will be up tomorrow evening, hopefully before midnight, we will see. But if you are new to the channel and this is the first video that's brought you here, this is the format that we go through match previews. We look at previous meetings between the two clubs, we look at current form across all competitions. I pick out a Doncaster Rovers player just to say a few words about on their progress throughout the season. I choose the opponent's one to watch, but as I always say, you know your club much better than what I do, so please in the comments down below let me know if there's somebody else who us Rovers fans should be watching out for on the Barrow team in tomorrow evening's game. And then we finish the video off with three predictions. The predicted team lineup, thanks to FanHub. Me and the family have got a predictions league table, so there's an update on that, and then the all important score prediction at the very end. So without further ado, let's get into previous meetings. Rovers and Barrow faced off a total of 61 times in our history. Rovers coming out on top on 22 occasions, Barrow winning 19, and then we've shared the spoils on 20 occasions. So pretty close, fairly even throughout our history. And we drill down into our more recent five, and that's just as even as well. We have to go all the way back to the 71-72 season. That was long before I was born, in Division 4, and it was on as even in that season with a 1-0 home defeat for the Rovers and then a 2-1 away win. And then we jump forward to the 98-99 season, I believe, where Rovers had the slightly better faring in this season with a 2-2 draw away from home and a 2-1 win. And then jump forward to earlier this season and it was a 2-0 defeat at Barrow. So yeah, over the last five, 2 wins each, 1 draw sandwiched in the middle. So it's a tough one to call, as it always is. Moving on to current form though, this may give us an inkling into how this game may play out. We'll look at Doncaster coming into this one on the back of 2 wins with 3 straight defeats before that. So yeah, hopefully turned a corner, bit of confidence, we will see. Barrow on the other hand, no win in 5 with 2 draws and 3 defeats. For the Rovers though, another good result at Swindon on Saturday, followed up from the 2-0 win midweek against Tranmere at home. Hopefully we can make it 3 wins on the bounce this Tuesday. Seem to have changed approach a little bit with not wanting the ball as much. Possession hasn't been the key to the last 2 results. We've had less than 50% possession. I think Tuesday was around 43 and then Saturday was around 35. So yeah, we're not wanting the ball, but what we are doing with the ball when we've got it is damaging. Tuesday though, for me, when we did have the ball, it was a little pedestrian, but it sounds like we were much more deliberate and controlled with the ball on Saturday from what I've seen and heard. 2 clean sheets is great for confidence as well. We've not had many clean sheets this season, so to see us get 2 clean sheets in a row and winning both games 2-0, it's great to see, and it's put us in a good position just outside of the playoffs. So hopefully we can continue that on Tuesday night, because we have got couple of tough games coming up in Sutton away, who are in and around us, obviously Barrow who are in and around us in the table, and then Bradford at the end of the month. So pivotal period in our season, I think. Barrow on the other hand, early season form that saw them fighting towards the top end of the table and in and around the playoffs seems to have deserted them, and they've faltered somewhat in recent weeks. 15 games, only 2 wins across all competitions, which goes back to early November, I believe, with 10 defeats and 3 draws in there as well. And those results have seen them knocked out of 2 cup competitions, the FA Cup and the EFL Trophy, the Papa John's Trophy, and it's also seen them drop down to 12th in the league. A couple of those defeats as well were heavy, a 5-0 at Stevenage, and for me a more damaging 5-1 in the Cumbrian Derby when they travelled to Carlisle. So 2 good teams there, don't get me wrong, who were fighting in and around the automatic places, but they'll have been frustrating and disappointing results for Barrow. This weekend though, just gone, they were in a hard-fought game. Possession was fairly even, shots were fairly even against Newport, but Barrow were on the receiving end of heartbreak with a very, very late injury time winner. 95th minute resulted in them being beaten this weekend, so they'll be looking to bounce back. Hopefully they don't. On to play profile. So for this video I've gone with Joseph Oluwu, returned from injury recently, 23 years old, centre defender for the Rovers. It's great to see Joe back in the starting 11 against Swindon, and like I say, came back from injury mid-week, coming off the bench, and as you can see on the picture, he's got a mask now, which is protecting a broken cheekbone, I believe. So he's got that on for a little bit, but for me, he's arguably one of our best defenders, and we need to give him a contract as soon as possible for as long as possible, because he has got bags of potential. Like I say, only 23 years old, and whenever he's on the pitch, the defenders around him seem to improve, and that shows how good he is. I think they've just got trust and belief in that he'll do his job so they can focus on theirs. I don't think it's any surprise that two decent results have coincided with Joseph Olowu being back in the team. So great to see him back. Long may this continue. On to the opponents, one to watch. So for this one, I went with this guy on the preview for the return fixture, and it's Ben Whitfield. So last time he was on 3 goals, 5 assists, and his season has just continued in that same vein of form. Really, he's 26 years old, central midfielder. He's now got 6 goals, 10 assists. He's contributed the most goals in the Barrow team. So like I say, scoring 6 and setting up 10, so 16 goals in total is not a bad return for a central midfielder, and I think a lot of the play goes through him. I think cut him out, prevent that space from finding the ball through, or finding a bit of space to take a shot on, and I think we've got a good chance of winning this game, or at worst drawing it. But I think Ben is a key player for Barrow. As I said at the start of the video though, if there's somebody else who you think is better than Ben, who we should be watching out for, please pop them down in the comments down below so we can keep an eye on them in tomorrow night's fixture. But for me, Ben Whitfield is the one to watch because of his creativity and the threat that he poses in front of goal. On to my predicted team lineup. So this is thanks to FanHub. If you've not downloaded the app yet, please go ahead and do so. Plenty of features to get your teeth stuck into, and prizes and things that you can buy. It is a decent little app, so go ahead, go download that. I use it for the predicted team lineup, and this is what I'm going with for tomorrow night's fixture. I'm going with Jonathan Mitchell in goal, a back three of Nelson, Anderson and Olowu. I think they were solid in the game against Swindon. You've got Nelson and Olowu who can play out with the ball. Anderson controlling that back line a little bit more. I think that's a solid back three. Brown and Maxwell as the wing backs, and then a midfield of Molyneux, who scored 2 superb goals against Swindon, so hopefully that opens the floodgates for him. Ben Close and Charlie Lakin in the middle, with Kyle Hurst on the left, supporting George Miller up top on his own. Obviously I do like 2 up front, but I think with Molyneux and Hurst, they're performing relatively well. I think Molyneux will have high levels of confidence after scoring 2. Hurst is having a really good season, so I think you can't really sacrifice one of those to support with having 2 up top. So hopefully that's the starting 11. It gives us 3 points tomorrow. On to the Predictions League table. So if you're new to this, me and the family predict the scoreline for every single league game. If we get it spot on, we get 3 points. If we get the outcome of the game right but not the scoreline, we get 1 point. If we get it completely wrong, we get no points. I went with a defeat against Swindon. My dad went with a draw. Chris and Max both went with wins, but they went with 2-1 wins. So no change in positions, but Chris and Max pulling away from me and my dad. Both Chris and Max joint first on 20 points. Dad in third on 11. Me rock bottom on 10. This trophy ain't coming back to me this season, I don't think. Miles away from it. Hopefully this prediction is spot on, but yeah, they'll be changing the table for sure. And that takes me on to my score prediction for this one, the all important score prediction. I'm hoping that the 2-2-0 wins of got us plenty of confidence coming into this one. Barrow in a poor run of form generally this season, that has led to us gifting points. I hope that doesn't happen this time. I'm going to put my faith in the lads. I'm going to trust that with the confidence is flowing and hopefully overflowing with confidence, and we put Barrow to the sword. I'm going to go with a confident 3-0 win. We will see. And if this is completely wrong, I'm going to go back to just predicting defeats and we'll see where we go from that. And that's where I'm going to leave this video. Hopefully I'm right. If you enjoyed it, stick a big thumbs up on it for us, please. Comments in the section down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.